Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions to take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it. Well, I guess I got to get my...
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And we are celebrating today like we do every day. It is, drum roll please, National Pina Colada Day. Yeah, just a little bit of celebration there. We have to celebrate every morning. It's a good way to start the day, being thankful for what we have. We are in a beautiful country, lots of freedoms, and we should be thankful for what we have. I'm also looking at the markets for you this morning. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Following up on yesterday's big deal, the Dow Jones this morning is up 148 points for you this morning. A little backflow in there. Yeah, so we're up 148 points. Yesterday we were up 320 points. Big movements on the markets. That's we don't usually see that kind of follow through one after the other, but this is a pretty serious move right now. I guess we've forgotten about the idea that there is a trade war and the markets are moving higher. You have to always remember, because I've been hearing a lot of words coming out that we're looking at a recession in about 18 months. 18 months. That doesn't mean right away. That doesn't mean right now. It means that it's on the horizon. Yet the markets are not telling us that. The markets are generally a leading indicator, and they're usually going to tell us what's going on 6 to 12 months out. And they're not saying anything about a recession. When you start seeing these numbers that are going like these are going, and we're seeing the numbers grow, well, you have to start wondering, is the recession on the way? Or are there a lot of people that are curious, but maybe they're getting it wrong right here? We're going to check that out. We'll keep watching the numbers for you. Again, I tell you, it's about most of the economists that I'm following are saying somewhere about 18 to 24 months down the road is when we might be into seeing a little bit of a recession. So, we've had a long time of growth, albeit anemic growth, but growth nonetheless. So we're going to be watching that very, very closely for you. And the markets are obviously not concurring at this time, at least saying that there's nothing in the short run when you start seeing the markets up 320 yesterday, and then today we're up another 154 points as I speak to you right now. 10-year Treasury is up. The yield on that is up just a little bit, not a whole heck of a lot of excitement there. Nothing really exciting to report to you there. The excitement all came out of Washington, D.C. yesterday when we had Judge Brett Kavanaugh. We have to make sure we get the name correct, because there were some institutions that didn't fill in the blanks properly, CNN, and gave people bum information about what the what the judge's name is. He's only been on the court for 12 years now, and they were having trouble getting his name correct. One of the other publications, you have to just chuckle with some of this stuff, because if you don't, the issues are pretty sad. When you start watching where we are in our society right now, the contentiousness in everything that gets done, that the signs were made, the blog posts were printed, the reports were all done for the Democrats to say, you know something, we don't like this judge. One of the sign companies, though, actually did, or one of the organizations had the sign made completely, and they put in there in place as a placeholder for whoever the name was, because they didn't care. It was going to be the same rhetoric regardless of who the nominee is. But they didn't care what the nominee's positions were, what their history was. So what they did is they made up the sign and they put XXX where the nominee's name was to go. Ironically, though, they left the XXX in there when they started distributing the signs. Yeah, you got to wonder about some of those folks. What is their thought process there? You look at Chuck Schumer, crying Chuck. Here's the issue with him is he didn't even care. I don't know why they go through this nomination process. To me, it seems like it's a bit ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
When we start looking at the process, and the senators, without ever having spoken with the nominee, have already made up their mind. So why should the nominee waste his time, or her time, in this case it's a him, why should the nominee waste their time going and chatting with these different senators who the conversation is irrelevant? They've already made up their mind on what they're going to do. Just a question from a simple guy just wondering about what direction they're going into. So right after the nomination announcement yesterday, the president gets on Air Force One, actually waited overnight and got on this morning, to head off to Brussels for their NATO meetings. This president told us something, and it was fascinating to me. I love the idea because I'm a business person at heart. Why is it that the American taxpayer should foot the bill for the entire universe to be protected, to be saved? I can understand that we're the ones that understand how to do it. We've got the strongest military. But we can't collect some money from other countries and let them pay their fair share. All we ever hear about from the Democrats is fair share, fair share, fair share. Even though we know that the top earners in our country are paying about 80 or 90% of the bill. So why is it that there's a problem when President Trump goes to Brussels and Tuesday afternoon there's a noteworthy moment in his presidency, a crucial 2-day summit with long-standing NATO allies who are hoping to ease tensions and steer the U.S. leader toward a display of unity. Just prior to leaving for Brussels, though, the president restated his frustration with NATO allies that have failed to meet his demand for more equitable defense spending. The United States, according to the president, is spending far more on NATO than any other country. Not fair, not acceptable. While these countries have been increasing their contributions since the president took office, they must do more. Germany, 1% of their GDP, while the U.S. is at 4% of their GDP. I don't like that idea. What are your thoughts on that? The agreement with NATO is every country is supposed to spend a minimum of 2% of their GDP on these different issues. So why is it that we're not seeing these countries do their fair share? Just a question from one simple guy. News out of Thailand. There is great news out of Thailand. All 12 boys and their soccer coach have been rescued from the flooded cave in Northern Ireland. The Thai Navy SEAL said, ending an 18-day ordeal. The SEAL said on their Facebook page that the remaining 4 boys and their 25-year-old coach were all brought out safely. Apparently there's still a couple SEALs that are working their way back out. Glad to see that worked well. So we're glad to see that going on and that's solving that problem. Mike, good to see you on there this morning. Hugh, glad to see you. Hopefully we'll see you on Thursday. Courtney, glad to see you with us this morning as well. Robert, Mundo, Chuck, Jim, Pam. Glad to see all of you with us. Just a few shout-outs right in the middle of the monologue this morning. Getting back to the news of the day. President Trump said that families should not be coming into the country illegally. Here's the issue on the illegal separation, or the separation in the courts. They want the president just to say, something, little Johnny, you can go with Mr. and Mrs. Jones right now. Does Mr. and Mrs. Jones have any relationship to little Johnny? Question there. The judge didn't say that. They just said the people need to be reunited. What if the parents are criminals? What if they're gang members? Put them back with the kids. What if they're abusers? Put the kids back there. Then what's the judge going to say when there is a problem? Will the judge have anything to say at that point? Or they say, well, you should have known better. Yeah, sometimes you have to wonder about some of these things. And the harassment continues. So a Trump administration's officials have increasingly become subjects of public harassment after Mad Maxine Waters called for Trump critics to create a crowd whenever they see a Trump official in public. Presidential counsel Kellyanne Conway recalled how a man harassed her while she was shopping in a supermarket for her family. Kellyanne, a mother of 4, was shopping when an angry man sneered, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Go look in the mirror." Without missing a beat, Kellyanne replied, "Mirrors are in aisle 9. I'll go get one now." Fascinating. She's pretty quick. Amazing. YouTube pledging $25 million in news grants to fight false information after months of drawing criticism over its promotion of conspiracy videos and misinformation. YouTube has unveiled a slate of new features to improve the news experience on its platform. On Monday, YouTube announced it is committing $25 million to help support legitimate news organizations and also detailed new features intended to flag misinformation and highlight authoritative news sources. The company said it will make these news announcements more prominent, especially in the wake of breaking news events when misinformation can spread quickly. At such times, YouTube will begin showing users short text previews of news stories and video search results, as well as warnings that the stories can change. Republican Senator Jeff Flake, a frequent critic of President Trump, said he's concerned about what Trump might promise Russian President Vladimir Putin when the two meet this month. Is that how our foreign policy has gotten to in our country now, when you've got flakes like Flake coming out and making comments about a summit, a high-level summit like this? Just fascinates me watching how these guys work nowadays. But thank goodness Flake is just about done. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, so your home hasn't sold. What is the market telling you? How long do most families live in a house? How to pick a credit card based on your credit score, and steps to audit loan success. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Our house in the middle of a street. Our house in the middle of a...
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs, the products for you. They even have the Fast Pass loan approval. They're the only one I know of that has the Fast Pass loan approval, saving you potentially $10,000 to $50,000 on the purchase of your new home, getting it totally underwritten before you go to offer. Just a possibility for you. So what is happening in the mortgage market today? 10-year treasuries, they're up. The yield is up by 1 basis point, 2.866. We're looking at the Fannie Mae 30-year bond. That one is down 3 basis points, which means the interest rate or the yield is up just a little bit today. Again, we look at that and we wonder, why is that happening? We always want to know, and that's one of the things that we're looking at for you on a regular basis here on Ron Siegel Radio, just checking out the numbers for you, not just what's happening, but what are the underlying numbers? What's driving the bigger picture? And we watch that to figure out, okay, can we predict, should you lock a loan? Should you take out a loan? Should you be contemplating that? And stocks are starting the day higher today, up for the 7th time in 8 days. Mortgage bonds are slightly lower once again after breaking back beneath the tough dual ceiling of resistance they have been battling with. Earlier this morning, the Small Business Optimism Index from the NFIB, the National Federation of Independent Business, showed that optimism among small businesses dropped slightly by 0.6 points to 107.2 in June, but this is off the best level in almost 25 years. Plans to hire rose 2 points, and positions not able to fill rose to match the highest level on record, a 45-year high. Current compensation plans fell by 4 points, but future compensation plans rose 1 point to match a 4-month high. So all these numbers in the job world looking pretty good. The NFIB President and CEO Juanita Duggan said that small business owners continue to report astounding optimism as they celebrate strong sales, the creation of jobs, and more profits. Again, how do we figure that if that's the case, why are we thinking there's going to be a recession in 18 months? Why do the economists say that? She went on to say that the first 6 months of the year have been very good to small business thanks to tax cuts, regulatory reform, and policies that help them grow. Finding qualified workers remains the single most important business problem reported. CoreLogic, they released their loan performance insights for April 2018, showing that loans 30 days or more past due decreased from 4.3% to 4.2%. Seriously delinquent loans, which is defined as 90 days or more, remain stable at 1.9%. Additionally, seriously delinquent homes in foreclosure also remain stable at 0.6%. Loans that are 90 days or more delinquent or in foreclosure are more than double what they were before last year's hurricanes in Houston, Texas, and Florida. These figures have quadrupled in Puerto Rico. When removing these areas affected by natural disasters, the serious delinquent foreclosure rates are even stronger. Frank Martel, president and CEO of CoreLogic, said delinquency rates are nearing historic lows, except in areas impacted by extreme weather over the past 18 months, reflecting a long period of strict underwriting practices, improved economic conditions. That's the technical stuff. The bonds are trading in the middle of their range, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Just a little bit of thought there for you. That's what's going on in the market. We're still kind of hedging on the idea that maybe we should be locking loans and not going out and playing the float on them right now. So yesterday I was talking about how to get the most money out of your home, how to sell your home for the most money. And I had a lot of questions on that commentary. A lot of people didn't understand exactly what I was saying and how to operate under that strategy. So I thought I'd share that a little bit with you. And I'm going to give you the background on what we're really focused on here. The idea here is the fact that we understand that markets work. If we're given the opportunity, real estate markets always work. Not just real estate, basically any market. It's the supply and demand theory. And I demonstrated this. I was doing a seminar last month with a group of real estate professionals. And I was sharing with them that it doesn't matter what it is. I had a iPad I was giving away. And when we're giving away this iPad, the focus was for me to say, okay, if I offer this iPad to this group, this room, for $1, how many people want to buy the iPad for $1? And there was no question. Everybody in the room put their hand up and said they would buy it for $1. I said, okay, now, who's willing to pay me $5 for it? Well, everybody in the room said they're willing to pay $5. Brand new iPad, still in its package, sealed, gift receipt on the back, so if there's any problem with it, you can go and return it, whole 9 yards. I mean, who's willing to pay me $50 for the iPad? And I had, a group of people. Some people probably might even not even had a wallet with them. But anybody that's going to pay $50 for a brand new iPad, if you have any use for them at all. Okay, how many people are going to pay me $100? We had a few less hands, and $200, and a few hands went down, and we got to $300, $350. Well, we started seeing that there was no way that iPad was going to sell for $1. There was no way it was going to sell for less than market value. What a willing buyer was willing to pay a willing seller. What the people in the room who had some cash on them were willing to pay me, who was holding the iPad, owner of the iPad. Right? So we realized that the markets work. Now, there's a couple of caveats. You've got to make sure that people see the property. If nobody is seeing the property, well, you got a problem there, because the markets are also telling you something about your property. And that was one of the things I wanted to chat with you this morning. But let's talk about how to get the most money from the sale of your home. That was our focus here. So the bottom line is to do the opposite, because so many people, especially in real estate, we get this one all the time. Real estate is common for this. I'll just list it a little bit high because we can always come down. Well, that's not the way it's going to get you the best results in today's environment. That might have worked 30 years ago when people didn't have access to information. They used to have they had to go to a real estate professional to get values. They had to go to a real estate professional to see what a property was listed for. Do you remember all the ads that were in the newspaper for real estate sales? Yeah, those aren't there anymore. Why? Because only 1 or 2% of the houses ever sell from a newspaper ad. Where do we get our information? Well, it's from the internet. How soon can we get it? Immediate. How much of it can we get? All that we want. May not be accurate, but we can get all the information we want. We can go, and if with property 123 Main Street, you put it into your search engine, and everything that's known about that property is right there, including estimates of the value of the property, what the surrounding properties are selling for, what the competition is, those properties that are currently on the market, all right there. It's all there for you to look at. Now, if you want to sell your property for the most money, how do you do it? Especially understanding that everybody has access to data. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. What happens if your house hasn't sold? What is the market telling you in that scenario? We'll talk about that as well. And how long do most families live in a house? We'll talk about that, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Well, welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today. Being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Yes, you find that dream home. On Nest, they're getting you the information quicker than anybody I see on the internet. They'll send you a text message when a property meets the parameters of what you are looking for. And how long do most families live in a house? National Association of Realtors keeps historical data on many aspects of home ownership. One of their data points, which has changed dramatically, is the median tenure of a family in a home, meaning how long a family stays in a home prior to moving. I shared a graph earlier that shows over the last 20 years, 1985 to 2008, the median tenure averaged exactly 6 years. However, since 2014, that average is almost 10 years, an increase of almost 50%. Why the dramatic increase? The reasons for this change are plentiful. The fall in home prices during the housing crisis left many homeowners in a negative equity situation where their home was worth less than the mortgage on the property. Also, the uncertainty of the economy made some homeowners much more fiscally conservative about making a move. With home prices rising dramatically over the last several years, 95.3% of homes with a mortgage are now in a positive equity situation. That's according to Core Logic. With the economy coming back and wages starting to increase, many homeowners are in a much better financial situation than they were just a few years ago. One other reason for the increase was brought to light by NAR, the National Association of Realtors, in their 2018 Home Buyer and Seller Generational Trends Report. And according to the report, I quote, sellers 37 years and younger stayed in their home for 6 years, unquote. These homeowners who are either looking for more space to accommodate their growing families or for better school districts to do the same are likely to move more often compared to typical sellers who stayed in their homes for 10 years. The home ownership rate among young families, however, has still not caught up to previous generations, resulting in the jump we have seen in median tenure. What does this mean for housing? Well, many believe that a large portion of homeowners are not in a house that is best for their current family circumstance. They could be baby boomers living in an empty 4-bedroom colonial or a millennial couple living in a 1-bedroom condo planning to start a family. These homeowners are ready to make a move, and since a lack of housing inventory is still a major challenge in the current housing market, this could be great news. If you want some more information on this, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, that is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. So before the break, I was chatting with you about how to get the most money from the sale of your home. And I was sharing with you the idea that information is readily available to everyone. That's why the old theory of list your property above market value and plan on negotiating down is just that. It's old theory. It's not today's marketplace. Well, why would I say that? And it's very obvious, is because everybody in the world knows what you're doing when you do that, because they can go on the internet, they can go to that super secret website, google.com, and find out exactly what your property is worth. Now, how do we deal with that, and how do we make that work for us? Good question. You see, when you list your property at the higher end and say, well, I'm going to come down, and I use this number just because it's a simple number. And I understand that the median home price in Orange County, California, $860,000, and the numbers for San Diego, Riverside, San Bernardino, they're all over the place. So I just use a simple number because I can do the math in my simple mind. I'm going to use a number of $500,000. Okay, so here's the issue. If you have that $500,000 property and you list it and say, I'm going to come down, so I'm going to list it at $575,000. Okay, well, the market knows that what you're doing. So they look at it and they say, I'm not going to go look at that property. It's overpriced. 10% of the people are going to actually go and look at the property and say, I wonder why they think that this property is worth that price. 10% of the people will go and look at it. And if you the same thing goes with you price it 10% overpriced over market. $550,000 for that $500,000 property. 30% of the people are going to still go. They're going to be a little inquisitive. Why is it priced that way? And if you put it right at market value, people say, yeah, I like it, or no, I don't like it. I don't need to go see it. I've got the pictures right here on the internet. I know the value of it. I know the street. 60% of the people are going to go and say, maybe I've got an interest in that property. Now let's look at it from the other way around. Everybody wants a bargain. I had a friend of mine since passed. He started the 99-cent only stores. And he had opened up a store, 99 cent only. This is before they started going to all these different prices. He wouldn't allow that. But 99 cents only. Everything in the store was 99 cents. He was opening up a store in Beverly Hills. And I said to him, Dave, you're going to put a store in Beverly Hills? He said, of course, Ron. Rich people like bargains too. Okay. So now let's think about this same property that we've been talking about. We've got this $500,000 property. What if we listed at $450,000? People want a bargain. 75% of the marketplace, according to NAR's report from Move Sales Inc., are going to go and look at that property. 75%. And if we put that property 15% below market, 90% of the marketplace is going to go and check out that property. 90%. So what does that mean for you? It means that people are going to go look at the property. If they look at it, they might like it. They're going to make an offer on it. Your professional real estate agent is then going to work those offers. So instead of trying to win the negotiations with one buyer, price it so that the demand for the home is maximized. By doing this, the seller will not be fighting with a buyer over the price, but will instead have multiple buyers fighting with each other over the house. See how that works? They're fighting over the house, not with you. They fight amongst each other. Do you think that if they're in a bidding war for a property and they know there's a bunch of people on their heels and they want to win that property, do you think they're going to have as many requests for repairs? Well, they may or may not, but the likelihood is you're a great real estate professional and go and say, you know something? If you're getting too out of line with this request for repairs, we know that the property has a lot of interest. We're just going to go to offer number 2 or 3. They're already in hand. They don't have to do anything to get there. Realtor.com gives this advice, and I quote, aim to price your property at or just slightly below the going rate. Today's buyers are highly informed. So if they sense they're getting a deal, they're likely to bid up a property that's slightly underpriced, especially in areas with low inventory, unquote. Now, a key component of this is, so you think, well, maybe I can just do this on my own because I'm going to really focus that way. Don't do it. Resist. Use a real estate professional. Now, this too may seem counterintuitive. The seller may think they would make more money if they didn't have to pay a real estate commission. With that being said, studies have shown that homes typically sell for more money when handled by a real estate professional. A new study by Collateral Analytics reveals that for sale by owners, FSBOs don't actually save any money and in some cases may be costing themselves more by not listing with an agent. In the study, they analyzed home sales in a variety of markets in 2016 and the first half of 2017. The data showed, quote, FSBOs tend to sell for lower prices than comparable home sales, and in many cases below the average differential represented by the prevailing commission rate, unquote. So what they're saying there is if you take the commission off, you're still selling it for less than that amount. How does that work? Why would that work that way? Well, I'm going to share with you again. I'm just a simple guy. If I see that $500,000 property and it's being listed by a real estate professional, or if it's being sold by the owner. If it's the owner, I'm going to say, okay, well, he's saving 6%, so I can save that. And I'm really a simple guy, so I don't want to think that $500,000 times 6%, $30,000. I'm just going to offer $450,000. And we may or may not settle there, but I may or may not buy the property. But in many instances, we're finding that net of commission, they save about 14% for sale by owner. So why would you want all that extra work? So the bottom line here, price your house at or slightly below the current market value, hire a professional, and this will guarantee that you maximize the price you get for your house. Now the question comes up, what happens if nobody wants my house at the reduced price? Nobody wants the house at the reduced price. We're going to talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets, how to pick a credit card based on your credit score. We'll talk about that as well. And so your home hasn't sold. What is the market telling you? You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area-trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com. Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 0186945 and 18667. 775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. They all are. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. You just need to go and register on the site. You'll get updates once a week on different methods of increasing your credit scores. Highest score I've seen. Now, you remember, 850 is a perfect score. I don't know that there's anybody that's ever been given an 850. I've seen an 834. That's the highest I have seen. And even that one had about a half a dozen or a dozen areas that I saw errors on the report when I was looking at it. So don't get upset if you see that you've got errors on your report. Like I say, every one of them do. How to pick a credit card based on your credit score is today's topic. Everyone has a different credit history, which means there are a wide range of credit scores out there. Whether you have a perfect history or one full of late and missed payments, it is important to choose the right credit card for your unique needs. Whether you're looking to fix your credit, get cash back, or earn rewards for a free trip, we'll share with you now how to find the right card for your credit so you can make a confident credit decision. First off, understanding your credit score. The first step in picking the right card is understanding your credit score. Your credit score is a number between 300 and 850. That tells banks and other lenders how likely you are to pay back your money, or their money. The money that you're borrowing, I guess. A high credit score indicates a low risk. A low score indicates a high risk. This means credit card issuers are more likely to hand over a new card to someone with a good credit score, as they are more likely to pay their bills. If you don't know your credit score, you can get it free online. If your credit score is below where you want it, spend some time understanding the score. The best cards for excellent credit. You should always look for a card that offers either top-tier rewards or ultra-low rates. Because you are a low-risk and a responsible borrower, banks may be lining up to hand you a new credit card for the very best travel rewards. Consider a card like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, Chase Sapphire Preferred, or an American Express Platinum. These cards come with annual fees ranging from around $100 to $550 per year, but you will likely get that back and more in value from the rewards programs. If you want to earn cash back in frequent restaurants, Capital One Saver Cash Rewards credit card is an excellent option. For low interest rates, consider the Chase Freedom, City Double Cash, or Capital One's Venture One Rewards card. Good credit cards for bad credit. If you have bad credit, you won't qualify for the lowest interest and best rewards. However, that does not mean you can't get a credit card. Just make sure you keep balances low and pay off your card in full each month to avoid the trouble that may have led to your current low score. In this category of cards, it's important to find a credit card that can help you build your credit without draining your bank account with excess fees. Two great cards for bad credit include Capital One Secured Card and Discover It Secured Card. Both have no annual fee and give you a long-term opportunity to fix and build your credit score. Tips to improve your credit. If you don't have great credit, you're not out of luck. There are a few tried and true strategies you can follow to raise your credit score. Just understand that fixing your credit may not be a quick fix. Some negative credit information stays on your credit report for up to 10 years. Pay off balances. Start by paying off any revolving credit balances as quickly as possible. While this is easier said than done, it is the fastest way to raise your credit score. Always pay on time. Never ever make a late payment and never miss a payment. Turn on automatic payments if you struggle here. Late payments lower your credit score for 7 years. Fix errors. Many credit reports have errors on them that are not your fault. Review your credit report. Identify any negative errors and file a dispute to remove them. Deal with the problems if you don't have any problems that were related to something you did, like a bankruptcy, late payment, or collection, try to resolve them and ask the lender if they'll remove the negative item from your credit report. They have that option. They can do it. Always focus on the long term. Credit scores take years to build, but only days to ruin. If you follow good credit habits and always pay your cards off in full every month and on time, you should see your credit card grow over time. With a good understanding of your credit score, you can pick the perfect card for your needs. Once you have it, you can sit back and watch the rewards flow in and your credit score rise. Whatever your goal, use your credit to that end. That is what responsible credit management is all about. That's the Your Credit Matters segment, again, brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. So we've been chatting a bit this morning about selling your house and how to get the most money from the sale of your house. And we were chatting a little bit about pricing your property aggressively. So what happens if your property doesn't sell when you price it aggressively? That's going to be the next question. Or what happens if you price the property? We were talking about a $500,000 property. What happens if you price that at $425,000, but you really are not interested in selling it for that little amount of money? Well, that's where the great real estate professional comes in, because they're going to help you with that. They're going to make sure that you don't have that issue. So what you're going to really want to do at that point is there needs to be the correct terminology in the listing agreement that basically is going to protect you and let your sellers know that, hey, you know something? We have the right to reject any offer for any reason. Right to reject any offer for any reason. That's the terminology. Again, the agents understand how to do that. But what's more important is, what if you didn't get any offers at the $425,000 price for that property that you think is worth $500,000? And you know something? Here's the issue. Most of us believe that our property is worth more than what the property is really worth. Right? I mean, we all think that our house is the best one on the market. Right? It's ours. We've got an emotional attachment to it. Think about that concept. So what do you do then? What is the market telling you? And there are, believe me, in the real estate world, there is a statistic for everything. It doesn't matter what it is, there's a statistic for it. So they've done studies to find out, what is the market telling you when you list your house, say that $500,000 property, and let's say you listed it at $449 because you wanted to make sure that it really hits the biggest number of people. And you're looking at the way, you're having to understand at that point, how do the search engines work? Well, they have ranges. They're going to look for properties for you from $500,000, say, to $550,000. So $549, even though you don't want to sell it for $449, maybe you don't want to sell it for that, but it's going to hit the search engine in the right spot. The people that have set up, they've gone to Nest, N-E-S-T, and they've texted Nest to 79564. Well, they're getting that information being sent right to them. Okay? So once that happens and the property does not sell, the market is actually telling you something. And what the market is saying to you is your property's overpriced. Even though you think it's at the right number, if the property is being marketed properly, and if it's in the MLS, it's kind of hard not to market it properly, because the MLS is going to send that out to a lot of different engines. Now, you can enhance it. You can go and use single property websites like we prepare for many, many agents around Southern California. And they can go into those websites and they can put enhanced pictures in those websites. That's a great way of enhancing the entire process. They put enhanced pictures or high definition pictures into the website so people can play with them and manipulate them. But here's the issue. If you've got a $500,000 property, you think it's worth $500,000, you've listed it at $449, and you are getting a lot of people through the property and no offers. Lots of people going through, no offers. What that's really telling you is the market is saying, hey, you know something? We like your property. It's not the price that we think is not a value to us buying it at that price. So the market is saying, even though you think it's worth $500, you've priced it at $449, the marketplace is saying, nah, no, I don't want it for that. Because properties are selling. There are 15,000 properties sell every single day. That's a vote. And they voted that your property is not worth the value you've put on it. Now, the numbers are, you're 5% too high if you're getting a lot of showings and no offers. You're 10% too high if you're getting no showings and no offers. So that's telling you that that $500,000 property, even though you listed it at $449, you're still 10% too high. Just statistics. It's not a Ron Siegel statistic. These are all commissioned by the National Association of Realtors so they can help the agents out there figure out precisely what to sell properties for, because their goal is to help the communities get into homes that they want and need for their family. It's not to be tour guides. It's not to sit in open houses. They don't make any money sitting in open houses going on tour. They make their money by helping you get the most money for your home. So you got to listen to what the market is telling you and act accordingly. And you should be having these conversations with your real estate professional. Hopefully they're giving you that kind of guidance. And to get more of it, all you have to do is set your first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun, have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.